Good day, my name is Rudzani. I will be doing the introduction for our research project in MAPS, and the name for our topic is Challenges Faced by Foreign Internationals from Zimbabwe that are living in Orlando West. So, to begin with, South Africa is known as a democratic country since the birth or release of Mandela in the 1990s. But recently, in 2008, we've seen a sort of resentment towards foreign internationals and mostly Zimbabweans in Soweto and other neighboring townships. So, the aim of our research project is to evaluate whether or not this is really true. Whether this is true or not. So we'll be looking specifically at the challenges that they're facing educationally and in terms of the xenophobic attacks. So educationally, the challenges that may be faced are getting a permit to study or getting accepted in the school by the other kids, because there was a case whereby the kids in other schools, primary schools, they were making fun of foreign kids. And in terms of the xenophobia, we were looking at whether or not they're being accepted in the township and the community as their home. And then finally, we'll be also assessing whether the government is doing enough. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Priscilla and I'm in group 24 of Kagiso's group, which is group 5. And our topic was the challenges that are faced by foreign nationals who come from Zimbabwe, and the issues that we'll be focusing on is education and xenophobia. Now with education, a lot of parents, a lot of families come into South Africa seeking asylum, seeking a home, seeking a life, and one of the things that is a huge problem is finding a school that is able to treat them equally, that is able to accommodate them, and regardless of where they come from. We still ought to treat them equally. But then now with foreign nationals, you'll find schools where principals actually kick out foreign national kids. People actually tell them that you need to go back to your country and all of that, which is a huge problem considering that South Africa is known as a rainbow nation. But now another issue is xenophobia, whereby South Africans or any based nationality has some sort of hatred towards another nationality. This is not something that only happens in South Africa, might I add, but it also happens around the world. Now, with xenophobia, there have been numerous cases whereby foreign nationals have died. Foreign nationals have had to go back to their countries due to the fact that us South Africans are not able to stand them or tolerate them here in South Africa. And the government, of course, has tried to do what they've had to do, but then it hasn't intervened enough, because we still have different acts of xenophobia. Because bear in mind, just because they're not reported does not mean it does not happen. And with that comes the problem of, is South Africa really a rainbow nation? And that's what the literature review is all about. It dwells more and tells you more about the different challenges that education-wise and xenophobia-wise that foreign nationals face. Foreign nationals that come from Zimbabwe to live in Soweto, Orlando East.
Good day to everyone. As this first speaker has introduced every group member, just for everyone to understand and to be clear, I am Zukiswa Gift. I am responsible of the methodology of the research project, which was actually based on the challenges faced by the foreign nationals from Zimbabwe who are living in South Africa, which was based on a location called Soweto at Orlando East. So at the methodology, for everyone to understand and to be clear, methodology, it is a specific method or technique which is used to identify and select information. So as a group, we decided to use a qualitative research method, which consists of investigation that seeks to answer questions. And however, more importantly, this type of method, it actually uses a predefined set of procedures. So the type of sampling that we use a random sampling technique, because we saw that it is actually better to use this type of technique because we just choose randomly. The interviews that were conducted, they included open-ended questions, because the open-ended question, they actually give the participant to be flexible and to elaborate more on their responses rather than forcing them to choose from the yeses or no answer. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Gift Dube, and I'm doing the results part in the group 24 with Zukiswa Gift, Rudzani and Priscilla. We went to the field, we did our research, and our main problem, our problem statement was to find if xenophobia is still existing and if we are being treated like the same in the whole nation. As they say, South Africa is a rainbow nation and a democratic nation. Our findings revealed that xenophobia still exists in South Africa. In terms of social activities and in the societies, how people are socializing, how people are interacting in societies, there are these names that foreign nationals are being given, and our focus was on Zimbabwean foreign nationals in South Africa, Soweto, Orlando East. So this project gave us an overview of how xenophobia is still affecting other people who are not from this country. And these people are not being treated what they call fairly in terms of finding jobs and other things that you can think of in society, like due to xenophobic feeling or negative feeling that has been going on. Like it's a social construct, but this social construct is blooming, it's growing very big. Like they say xenophobia was eliminated, people are now loving each other, are now interacting, but according to our findings, people were saying xenophobia still exists, and mainly they are not being treated fairly. That's the main issue that they talked about in terms of xenophobia. And the other aspect is education. Students are failing to get education, quality education in South Africa. Foreign national students or international students, they are failing to get quality education in South Africa due to several factors, like the amount of money that they pay during application. They pay more than 1,000, for example, and some and local students will pay maybe less than 500 rand. This is something that institutions are implementing, but at the same time it is preventing those students to have from having quality education in South Africa, as they could not afford it, because many people are living the standard life, the normal life. They're not in those classes, so they fail to afford that education due to their payments, and also to those who are in those big institutions like universities and colleges. They are facing a problem in terms of socializing with local students, because they are also being given names, and they are being avoided, they are being isolated, and so they won't be having this freedom at school, and also they won't be having this atmosphere of learning at school, especially in universities. On education again, we have this problem of permits or visas. People were complaining, like they say it is no longer relevant, or there is now no need for that due to the relationship we've been having between South Africa and Zimbabwe. They say it's no longer relevant to use permits, but only a passport in terms of security, in terms of criminal records or activities, as some people might try to run from one country to another due to criminal activities and so forth. So our problem statement was to find out if xenophobia still exists in South Africa, and if there are really challenges in education in terms of students and teachers or tutors and lecturers in institutions, in high schools and primary schools. So we found out that it really still exists, but not on a large scale, and it is not that violent it used to be back then. It is now like, for example, like a Cold War. It is now happening under the ground. That is, it still exists, but not that explosive it used to be. Like people being beaten, being attacked. They are not using policies. They are not using rules and regulations that only target these foreign nationals from Zimbabwe, for example, because that was our focus. And in terms of education, we found out that challenges are really there, and these challenges are in terms of payments, in terms of permits, and the social life of students in institutions. That is, they are failing to interact with other students, as they will be given names and isolated and being treated what they call unfair. Yeah, that is all. And that was our findings. And we think as a group, these challenges need to be addressed by the government, and they should implement policies that can eliminate xenophobia, and they also should implement policies that will accommodate everyone, policies and eliminate those issues of extra payment, international levies, and other aspects, is they will restrict, or they will avoid, or they will give a partition or a demarcation between students or between people, as they will be treated as foreigners and South African citizens. They should allow those people just to come and educate themselves in South Africa without the implementation of, without the need of permits, visas, and also there's these international levies and stuff. That was our project focused on, and thank you very much.